Hoi hoi! We're here today with a next community update with Daniel, a member of our community who's been up to some really interesting things, including bug farms within our building.
It's true.
And we wanted to get you in here today to hear a bit about how that came about, because I know we've all been looking and there's a little bug farm that has been growing and walking around. And if you can give us kind of some more context to where that came from, how you're
Where are
involved.
the bugs coming from? That is the question, Daniel.
Last September we had the Startup Impact Fest at the Kabeljauwsfabriek, and we launched our Meta Lab. Meta Lab is making emerging technology accessible. It's a 12-week program for organizations who want to prototype with technology. So in this 12 weeks we start with ideation, we do some paper prototyping, testing, add technology to it, and work on a business model. We call it a pre-incubator outcome, which is using technology, new technology. The first program started last September, so we're now in week 11, and the theme is food in the city. So the first week we were thinking about how could we add something to the city to get better food, better quality of food, and how can we change something.
Was there a reason to choose, food in the city?
I do it with Arn. Arn is from the Hague maker community, Haagse makers, and we both have a personal thing with food, and we think that we should change our food behavior.
The way we consume.
Yeah, and that was one of the main focuses of the first theme. So we talked the first week about it, and the outcome was that we eat a lot of meat, and people in the world get more access to meat, and it has a lot of impact on the environment.
Hashtag me too.
Yeah, yeah. But we still need protein and stuff like that, vitamins, and insects are a great alternative. But everybody gets this eek thing when you talk about eating insects. So then we came up with the idea. Okay, we should give people more access to eating insects or getting into the experience, because when you taste it, if you really try it, I convince you to it, and you're okay, this is less
dirty than you expect.
So then the idea of setting up this insect farm was created, and we started.
And what part within the insect farm is labeled as the emerging technology? Is it a specific technology used to grow and harvest insects?
Well, we looked in. We met some farmers. Yeah, you farm them, or
you farm them, of course.
Kweekt. You farm, and the conditions for an insect need to be perfect. So, like 26 degrees, 60-70% humidity, and you don't always know if your environment is like that. So. What we created is these smart crates. We added a sensor to it.
Oh, nice.
And a connective device in a mesh network. So the one crate talks to the other crate, till the other crate, till there's one talking with Wi-Fi or something. And it sends data all the time. So the cycle of mealworm, pupae, takes like 12 weeks. And then after 12 weeks, we could sell it to someone and tell them this is what happened during production. So
you analyze the growth process of the how do you call it, the puppies, the
mealworms,
cocoons, from cocoon to
egg till they you can harvest them.
Wow!
So the whole idea is of knowing which quality was there during production. Will maybe help people eat them because they're less gross. But that this wasn't enough. So then I went into the kitchen with a chef in a
Which
restaurant. Frits, it's a very famous chef from Rotterdam.
Everybody knows Frits in The Hague. Or is he from Rotterdam?
He's from Rotterdam.
Okay.
So we were thinking, what could we create? And we created this bug burger. So you got some mushrooms, some thyme, good oil, garlic.
Usually within technology, you use technology to solve bugs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is all the way
This is
around.
using
Instead of
bugs.
creating
because they are
bugs.
there. Yeah. So and it was good.
So you just named all the ingredients in the burger except what type of bugs? Because like, how much does that matter? Because like we're hearing about bugs, but I mean bugs is an entire
Spiders or...
Well, no, those aren't technically bugs.
Oh,
Those
really?
are arthropods.
Oh.
Well, no.
thanks.
Well, I guess it depends on what insects, bugs. Okay, that's not. Well, I'll figure
That's
that
not
out.
what
I'll
we're
figure
here.
that out.
That's not
but,
why
like-
we're here.
So, what bugs are you farming? What are you using? And like, is it just one type of bug?
Yeah, we did some research about which bug you should start if you want to learn about insect farms, and the mealworm is the most easy one to start with. They don't fly away.
Yeah.
That's nice,
Hmm.
and they can they are very robust to get them produced. So you
And
can
the taste compared to like other bugs.
nutty
flavor.
Yeah. So we also did a chocolate bar. Chocolate and nuts is a
Good
very good
combination,
combination, and a chocolate tart dessert. So and it was also very very nice.
And so before we have you go, like I've personally tried bugs, but it took a step. It took like forcing myself to be adventurous to try them. And then when I did, I've tried a couple times, different things. I had one type that honestly still grossed me out, but I mean there's types of meats that gross me out. And then I had another type of bug that I thought was really good. It was kind of in like a cracker type of setup. What would your advice be, or what is your plan to get people to just make that leap and try it?
I believe that chefs at restaurants are my ambassadors. So I talked with chefs, and they told me bugs are expensive. So they want to work with it, but it's expensive. It's an expensive product. So production needs to get lower in cost. And I'm willing to set up this platform, the Next Cuisine. So where we can share and make videos about making delicious recipes with these chefs.
So you use technology to lower costs in the farming of insects, and by doing that you can create delicious food. And by creating delicious food with these resources, you contribute, for instance, to the food consumption challenges we have at the moment in the world, or in The Hague, or in Rotterdam.
That's it. Yeah.
Wow, great! It's actually a privilege to have you here within our community. And
And the last
Sounds
thing
great.
is there any plan, or is it possible to open source the farming to allow people who maybe in other countries or other locations who wouldn't have access to the platform that you're building to create their own platforms?
Yeah. What we think we should focus on the technology. We're technology guys, so we're setting up this platform and we're setting up one farm now. But the whole idea is of setting up a distributed farm. So we need this crowd-farmed insect farm.
So the dream is in 10 years, everybody at the Albert Heijn, which is a big supermarket here in the Netherlands, usually around Christmas Day or the kinds of events, you get a sort of a little, what's it called, moestuin?
Yeah.
Little
Yeah.
herbs
moestuin,
with it, you can grow them yourself, but
Yeah.
you're envisioning the dream that you give sort of small farm crates which are technology driven, and you can grow your own
Yeah.
Or
bugs.
no one actually knows what's in the McRib. We can just do McBugs and
Yeah.
see if it catches on.
Yeah.
Try to get into the
Yeah.
the social layer of that.
Yeah.
So from Thomas and I, thank you so much for joining us, and I think we'd definitely like to have you back to hear more about the impact that the farming of the bugs can have. And in addition, I'd like to hear in the future about what you see the role of that versus other upcoming ecosystems within food development, such as lab-generated meat and different sources and how that plays all together.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really exciting field, and Thomas and I, again, would like to thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
And that we wish you the best of luck with everything. And we'd like to thank you for joining the Hague Tech Podcast Community Update. And we hope that you join us again and subscribe to our podcast. One more thing. We had a really exciting interview with Daniel about his project in creating sustainable bug systems. And he's been amazing in being nominated for the Hague Innovators Award, which all of you can actually take part in if you believe that his project is truly innovative and can be part of a greater system. So before January 16th, please go and vote for Daniel in the Hague Innovators Award, and we'll link to that in our show page. And thank you guys so much for supporting our community and the efforts being done here.